with a 43% deficit in monsoon due to El Nino, there are fears that the Kharif season will be affected. What are your opinions on that?
No, that fear is very much justified, and the reason is that so far monsoon has been highly deficient in most of the southern states where monsoon should have progressed to a much higher extent by now. So even in Goa, which receives a lot of rain, the monsoon deficiency is about 75%. So Kerala is about the only place where the deficiency is less and where sowing can take place at the current level of rainfall. But in Karnataka, there is very large deficiency. In Maharashtra, there is very large deficiency. So that is the reason why the government and others are concerned about how the rainfall will progress. But I must say that if we get good rains in the next 2 weeks, by 10th of July or so, then at least the sowing will take place.
Yesterday, Agriculture Minister Siraj Hussain announced that the government has, like you said, identified 315 vulnerable districts across 12 states where irrigation facilities are lacking. Do you think there is a need to shift focus on how our fields are fed?
Actually, it is a good idea to identify the districts, but I must say that even the irrigated districts are affected. It is not only the rain-fed areas which are affected by lower rainfall, but shortfall in rains affects even other districts. The main concern, as far as I am concerned, is whether the seeds are available, seeds of lower millets, etc., which are drought-resistant crops, whether those seeds are available in districts which are going to face large deficit of rainfall. The Prime Minister had released a large number of varieties of climate resistant seeds some 2 years back. I am hoping that those seeds would be made available to the state governments and in those districts so that the farmers can sow those seeds. And also I spoke to Karnataka this morning, farmers in Karnataka, North Karnataka. So a lot of media attention is there. Farmers are getting advisories, and in fact, for certain crops, the time is already over. For example, maize, it cannot be sown now. Moong, it cannot be sown. So there is still time for certain of the crops, especially coarse millets, and I hope the farmers will take advantage of that. I must also add that the farmers are already knowing what to do in case of lower rainfall. But even for sowing those lower millets or drought-resistant crops, you need moisture in soil, at least 2 or 3 days of rains. So those rains are very much desirable now.
So, like you said, farmers, they're already sowing seeds. Like some farmers in Andhra Pradesh are going for direct seeding of rice. So this is a process which skips nursery entirely. There's no transplantation, there's no waterlogging, there's no standing puddles. But the agriculture minister said that farmers must go for alternate crops rather than alternate techniques. So what do you think is better?
Actually, agriculture minister is very correct. Due to various political reasons, the state government, several state governments have been giving bonus on paddy, as a result of which we are now sitting on rice stock which is 5 times the buffer requirement. And you would already be knowing that some 5.2 million tons of rice was allocated for ethanol. So I think the centre would do well to speak to the state governments to withdraw that bonus on rice and persuade farmers not to go for rice. We are already having a large quantity, and in regions where irrigation potential is very robust, farmers will go for paddy cultivation anyway. So we should be discouraging the cultivation of paddy in those parts of India where rainfall is going to be highly deficient.
With Kharif season being delayed and agriculture production bound to go down because of that, how do you think it will affect the economy? Do you think there will be higher inflation on food grains?
You see, it all depends on how the rains come in July and August. Supposing the rainfall deficit reduces to 10% and the distribution across regions is good, then the adverse impact on economy will not be very high. In 2015-16, when I was Agriculture Secretary, it was the second consecutive year of drought, and yet the loss in food grain production was just about 5.5%. So I think at this stage it is difficult to surmise, and it is not correct to surmise that the economy will suffer a great deal and so on, because now the government is also much better prepared. Now the irrigation coverage is as high as about 55%. There are many more varieties of drought-resistant seeds, and even otherwise the advisories to farmers have improved. Drinking water situation would improve. There is a very robust drought manual now which was revised in 2016. So on the whole we can say that the government, both center and the states, are better prepared to deal with drought. But having said this, I must also caution that even in a normal year, certain districts, certain regions receive less than normal rainfall. So we must be prepared for a lot of shortfall in certain districts.
Okay, this is a kind of a personal question, but there's water shortage for normal citizens as well, not just agriculture. Like in Maharashtra, 2-3 days ago, they were saying there's only 41 days of water left, and now in Pune, in gated societies, there are fixed times where water is not being supplied, and in ungated societies, it just goes, water just completely stops, and even water pressure, which normally comes, is very low. Do you think the country is prepared for a water crisis?
Actually, we should be much better prepared. Only the other day I wrote in my sectors, Noida sectors group, that we need to conserve water, because every day when I go for morning walk, I see people, and especially the helps, washing cars on the roads and washing floors, wasting water. So we need to conserve water wherever we can. And the poor people are already struggling with water shortages. It is the rich who are wasting water. And I hope that someone will pick up this point. We waste a lot of water in flushing our toilets. So that is also something maybe Center for Science and Environment, maybe the ministry which conducted Swachhata Abhiyan so successfully, will tackle that issue, come up with solution, or launch a campaign to advise people to use less water even while flushing.
Because even like ethanol production is being pushed a lot, that uses a lot of water, and with data centers coming up, that uses a lot of water. So water consumption is the need of the hour in the country.
Ethanol is a different ball game. I have written enough about it. You can read that and perhaps do another story. But I know that even in US there is opposition to data centers because of excessive consumption of water.